guys, look at here. I got a service engine light come on. Guys, what is going on? Welcome to the channel, and today I got a new product for the F350 and I got my little helper that's gonna help me install it. He just sneezed. Let's see what we got. We got Matthew right here, and Matthew, what do we have in the box? Let's open it. It's a little module. If we can open it. It's so hard to open in one hand. Okay, here, oops. We got ourselves a little stealth module for the 7.3. Bless you. Matthew just got a haircut. We both just got a haircut. Matthew, do you like your haircut? Yeah? Okay, cool. So let's open this up and see what we got in here.
Even came with zip ties.
You even came with zip ties? Oh, that's cool. What is it, Matthew?
Big module.
Stealth module? Yes. So this is the little stealth module that I got for the 7.3. Right here in the back it says 7.3 99-03. This unit is basically universal for the 7.3s. We got the unit, we got a little sticker, manuals, and the cable. It's a one-piece cable. It goes from stock, low, medium, and high. This one plugs into the ICP sensor, and then the cable from the truck that was going to the ICP plugs in here, and then this one goes to the module. Pretty simple. Basically just one cable that makes it a bypass. Basically a stock cable plugs in here, goes through the module, and then it goes back to the truck, and you adjust with the knob if you want it stock, low, medium, or high. If I remember correctly, I believe low is like 40 horsepower extra, then you got medium 60, and then high is about 80. They don't really advertise if it improves gas mileage that much, but it does open up the truck a little bit, lets it accelerate a lot easier. It feels more like more free, I guess. Feels more like a new truck, more like a different truck. So it's basically a universal tuner for all the 7.3s, and they have them for the Rams, they have them for the 6.0s, the 6.4s, and the 6.7s, and they got them for the Duramaxes. So pretty much they have it for all the diesels, and I think this one is fairly new. It's been around for about a year. They just made this for the 7.3. So let's give it a shot and see how it goes. Alright, so basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this cable and I'm actually gonna leave it together. It's pretty long enough to where you can disconnect it, and it's gonna run all the way to the cab, and you can install the knob somewhere, and they give you some zip ties that you can zip tie it nice and neat. I'm actually gonna keep it together in the valley area right here, and I'm just gonna tuck it in there nicely. And it should be, I mean, I can, you know, it has screws right here that you can mount it on the firewall somewhere. You can hide it. You can pretty much do whatever you want with this. Pretty simple. You don't need to dig for your computer to plug this in. So let me show you how this plugs in. Fairly easy. Alright, so here's the ICP sensor right here. It's going to be on the driver's side head. So basically all you do is you can pry this with your finger, or you can use a little pry tool just to pry it a little bit, and it pops off just like that. And then you take the harness that comes with the stealth module, and you basically plug this one into the stealth module harness, and then this one goes to the ICP sensor, and that basically snaps in just like that. Pretty simple. And then now you got a little knob right here. I'm just gonna leave it here for now, and this connects to the stealth module that plugs just like that. And like I said, I'm gonna leave it here. You can, it's optional where you mount it, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna leave it right here tucked in so it doesn't jump out anywhere. And then I'm gonna have my knob kind of in this area somewhere so I can reach it easily. Maybe I'll just zip tie it to this FRX line just a little bit so it's somewhat secure just in case. I'll take it out somehow. Don't worry about me. Honestly, I do not know when I'm gonna mount it yet, so for now it's gonna be right here. Basically just mounted right here, temporary. Zip tie will hide in there. So now I got my knob right here. Matthew, stop please. So now I got my stealth module kind of in place, held in by this FRX line, and then I got this harness section zip tied to the line as well. So I got my knob right here on top. So we got all the way to the left is stock, and then you got low, medium, and high. So right now it's on stock. I'm gonna put it on low, and I'm gonna leave it on that, and then we're gonna do some testing. So yeah, after talking to the stealth module, they didn't really say that it improves gas mileage really. It mostly gives it a little more performance, frees up the truck a little bit so it accelerates a lot easier without really just smashing the pedal all the way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to test it for MPGs. I'm going to go through each setting. I'm going to do it on low, medium, and high. Drive to work back, and then test the MPGs off that. I don't know if it's going to improve anything. I'm assuming that if I'm going to put it on high, I'm going to accelerate a lot easier. So it's going to burn diesel a lot faster. So with this module, I'm going to do the same thing, 10 to 30, 30 to 70, 50 to 70. I'm going to do that on low, medium, and high, and then we're going to see how that performs, and we're going to compare it to stock. We're going to compare it to the FRX system, and then I'm going to let you know what I think about it. So let's fast forward. I'm going to do all these testings, and then I'll give you the results. All right, be right back. Well, guys, look at here. I got a service engine light come on. And I don't know if that's because of the stealth module or the AIH delete that I did. And maybe that's acting up. That could be it. So I guess I'm gonna drive it home normally and then scan the code and see what we got. So I went ahead and got the engine code scanned, and I believe the code was either P1211 or P0087. I thought I took a picture of the code and then I deleted the code and I can't find the picture, so I don't remember exactly what the code was. But basically it was a low fuel rail pressure. And sometimes you get those kind of codes when you have like a tuner installed and the fuel system is stock. In my case, the fuel system is stock, so it was probably starving of fuel just a little bit when I was pushing the truck to its limits on the highest setting on the stealth module. So it's not exactly a stealth module issue. It's more of a truck not having enough pressure to keep up with the higher tune demand. Also on low setting, it doesn't smoke that much. On medium, I'm getting a little bit more smoke, and on high, there's a lot more black smoke during wide open throttle. So after I got the engine light pop up, I decided to kind of put that testing on hold, and that's when I decided to order the FRX system from RIFFRAFF. And then also with the system, you're gonna have 3 springs that come with it, so you're gonna have a little bit higher fuel pressure, and that's what I end up doing. Now that I installed the FRX system, I'm gonna go ahead and redo all the tests on low, medium, and high, 10 to 60, 30 to 70, and 50 to 70, all the pulls, and pretty much get all that done, and hopefully the engine code will not pop up. I don't think it will, it shouldn't, but now that everything's installed and ready to go, let's go ahead and do all these tests and see what numbers we get and the MPG results. Alrighty, let's go. I'm gonna do the low setting right now. We're gonna do 10 to 60, 30 to 70, and then we're gonna do 50 to 70 pulls in 5th and 6th gear. And once that's done, then I'm gonna change it to a medium setting. And then after that's done, hopefully everything's gonna go well. Then I'm gonna change it to a high setting, and we're gonna do the same test. And hopefully we can do all those 3 tests, get the performance numbers in. Hopefully we're not gonna get an engine light this time. All right, so let's give it a shot, and let's do 10 to 60. All right, now let's do 30 to 70. All right, now let's do 50 to 70 in 5th gear. And here's the final test, 50 to 70 in 5th and 6th gear. Let's see how she does. All right, no engine light yet. I believe this is the test last time when she got an engine light. But we got one more gear to go. 50 to 70 in 6th gear. All right, so far so good. So far so good. She did all the settings good. Seems like that little extra of fuel fixed the problem, and it doesn't starve the system. All right, so let me get home. I'm gonna take a quick nap after work, and then we're gonna recap, talk about the results, and see what I think. All right, be right back. All right, and I'm finally done with the test. This took me actually a few weeks to do because of the problems that I was having, and then we ended up going on vacation, and then I had to wait for the FRX system from RIFFRAFF and so forth and so on. And now that everything is done, all the testing is done, we're gonna review the numbers, performance, MPGs, and all that stuff. And actually, I'm kind of curious to see if it's gonna be better than a Hydra, which I do not have yet, but I do want to get a Hydra later on and actually do a better comparison. But I actually had a 7.3, 2002 7.3 about 5 years ago, and I had a DP tuner on that, which is a kind of an older system. It's kind of similar to what a Hydra is. It's pretty much basically the same thing. The tunes are just basically a little bit better and safer for the 7.3s. But at least I have some kind of something that I compare this stealth module to, and kind of see what I think. All right, so let's look at the numbers, then I'll let you know what I think. All right, so now let's look at all the numbers. These were the previous numbers before I did the stealth module. And we got 10 to 60 at 10.92. Then we got 30 to 70 at 11.81. And then we got 50 to 70 in fifth gear, 6.35. And sixth gear was 9.77. And that's when I got 15.0. It was pretty hot. So basically on top you're gonna have MPG, and then in the column you're gonna have times, and you can see on top is gonna say stealth low, so that's low setting, and the next column is gonna be stealth medium, and then stealth high. So on a stealth low, it was actually hot, and I got 16.2, so that improved MPGs just a little bit. And these were the same driving conditions that I did on the other previous tests, driving to work and back, work and back. On 10 to 60, I got 9.71, so that's already a huge improvement from the previous test. And then I got 10.43, which is another huge improvement on the 30 to 70. And then I got a 5.68 on 50 to 70 test, also a huge improvement. And then 8.71 50 to 70 in the sixth gear. So you can see all these numbers dropped quite a bit actually in the low setting, and this is with FRX system with the gold spring. And then we go to the medium column. The MPG actually dropped a little bit to 15.3. My 10 to 60 got a little bit slower at 9.89. My 30 to 70 also got a little bit slower at 10.59. And 50 to 70 in fifth gear, also a tiny bit slower, 5.89. And then sixth gear, 50 to 70 actually dropped a little more at 9.61. But it's still a little bit faster when I did the only FRX system without the stealth module. So it's still a slight improvement, but in low, I was actually getting a little bit better performance for some reason. And MPG is better as well on the low. So now looking at the high column, MPGs pretty much stayed the same at 15.3. 10 to 60 was 9.90. It's pretty much the same as a medium. 30 to 70 actually got a little bit faster than the low and medium at 10.33. 50 to 70 in fifth gear got even more slower for some reason at 6.14. But 50 to 70 in sixth gear got a lot faster at 7.78. So you can see that low was 8.71, medium was 9.61, and then for some reason it went to like 7.78. So yeah, in some areas high is faster, but in some areas low is faster. It seems like low setting is probably the best overall, because it seemed to improve MPGs a little bit better than medium and high, and the performance was also pretty good. It seems like low is kind of the best mode to be in. All right, so the engine light did not come on after I did all these tests, and it's likely because I upgraded the spring to the gold spring, which is the medium, slightly higher pressure than stock, and then I installed the FRX system, as you guys saw in my previous video. So basically, one of the reasons I wanted to do the FRX system to see if that will improve the truck's performance, and it will run smooth, if it will run smoother, and actually see if it's going to help with my stealth module testing. Now, you might not need to do all this stuff, and you can maybe just upgrade the spring to the medium one, slightly higher PSI, probably pick up for about 10-15 bucks, or maybe even stock spring that you have might not give you any kind of codes. And maybe my truck has other problems that I'm not aware of, and maybe that's why I got the code, because I pushed it too hard. But I figured I'll share that with you guys, and seems like FRX system fixed that issue. Now, regarding the gas pedal, on low setting, it's slightly noticeable that there's more response, that accelerates a little bit quicker. In medium setting, the gas pedal is more responsive, and then in high setting, it's even more responsive. So in high setting, it's actually really fun to drive around town. But one thing I noticed when I was cruising on the freeway, and I did all these different settings, in low, it works pretty good on the freeway when you're just cruising, set this cruise control. In medium, I noticed that when you're cruising and you let go, when you're pretty much cruising, let's say at 70, and then you let go the pedal just a little bit to where it kind of kills the fuel pressure, you get a little bit of a jerk, but I noticed it more on the higher setting. When you lift off your foot, when the pedal is pretty much at 0, you get a little bit of a more of a jerk on the higher setting that I noticed on when you're just cruising on the freeway. But when you're actually just driving around town, it's not noticeable at all. It's basically something that I noticed when I was just cruising on the freeway compared to low, medium, and high setting. On a stock, I don't get that jerk. In low, barely noticeable, medium, slightly higher, and then in higher setting, it's more noticeable in the higher setting. I don't know if Stealth can get that tuned a little bit, so maybe it's not so sensitive, but that's kind of my opinion. And but I like the easy install of the Stealth module. It basically takes like 10 seconds to plug it in and you're ready to go. Unless of course you want to mount the knob somewhere inside and you want to figure out a better way to mount the module somewhere. But in my case, I just kind of put it on top of the engine bay for now, just because I'm not sure where I'm going to mount it yet. Is a Stealth module better than a Hydra? No, I don't think so, because the Hydra is more of a custom tune. You can pick a bunch of tunes, you can do whatever you want. You can pick different settings for towing, for economy driving, for different idle lobes and all that stuff. Stealth is more of a plug and play, quick little plug and play, universal pretty much to any 7.3. And they have them for different, like I said, for Cummins, and they have them for the Duramaxes and the 6.0 Powerstrokes and the 6.4 and the 6.7s. So they have them for pretty much all the diesel trucks. It's basically a universal unit for that particular engine. So basically I can unplug it and sell it to somebody. It's not really locked in or tuned for a specific truck. So, but I still think it's a little bit on the pricey side. If it was maybe like 400 bucks, I think it would be worth it because of ease of use, plug and play. You just throw it in there and you're ready to go. But I think a Hydra I would like a little bit more because I can set it for different tow modes, for heavier load, for medium load, and I can set it for economy driving or performance driving, street shredder, Cummins killer, Cummins lobe, high idle, quiet idle when I go to like a drive-through. It has a bunch of different other settings that you can pretty much pick and choose, and I think you can maybe put up to like 15 tunes, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I think a Hydra is more for people that really want to customize their truck to exactly how they want it, and a Stealth module is mostly for those that just want to plug it in and have a little more performance, have a little more fun, and the ease of use. And there's nothing really that technical about installing it. So yeah, those are my opinions and I'm sticking to them. So yeah, it kind of depends on what you want out of your truck. You want just something to throw in really quick and have fun with it, or something that you want to specifically tune for your truck to your specific needs. So yeah, even a Hydra tuner can get really expensive if you want to keep adding more and more tunes to your list, I guess. And by the way, I have a few more mods coming up. One is going to be a high oil pressure crossover from RIFFRAFF, which I'm going to be installing soon. And then the second mod is going to be up pipes, because my up pipes are leaking, and I knew they were leaking from the start. I just never got a chance to get new eye pipes. So I finally got new eye pipes from RIFFRAFF, including with the oil pressure crossover. So yeah, might be the up pipes might be a tough job. Just because you have to remove so much stuff. You have to remove the turbo, you have to get kind of behind the engine, remove the pipes and intercooler piping and all that stuff. So it's going to be a little bit tricky, but it has to be done, because with the up pipes leaking, there's a soot buildup on the back. Let me show you that real quick. So I don't know if you guys are going to see that. Let me see if I can adjust the screen a little bit, but basically it's right there, that a lot of soot buildup on the pipe over there. You see that, like the half of the pipe is really black. So all of that is pretty much leaking exhaust, not getting to the turbo, and that is probably losing boost because the turbo is not spooling high enough from the exhaust pressure. So yeah, it's something that has to be done. It's not important, it's not ruining anything, but it's something that would maybe even improve the performance of the truck. And then after I'm gonna do that, I'll probably do the testing again, the 10 to 60 and all that stuff, and actually see if that improves performance. It might even improve MPGs, who knows, because it's gonna get a little bit more power. It might accelerate a little bit easier, so we'll see. So hey guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video, because this video took me about a few weeks, I think like 3 or 4 weeks to finish this video. So sorry that it took so long, but I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to see more content, F350 content, or Silverado stuff, or whatever, go to my playlist. All that stuff is organized in a playlist. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, FixitNick, go ahead and do that. I usually post update pictures of what's going on, because I can't always do videos because of my schedule, but at least I post pictures when I can of little updates, upgrades, different parts that I get, so you guys can see what's going on when I don't have time to upload videos. So guys, if you're new, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button. Let me know in the comments what you think, and we'll see you in the next one. See ya.